The Philadelphia experiment is one of the most fascinating and controversial conspiracy theories in military history, supposedly taking place in 1943 at the Philadelphia Naval Shipyard. But could a ship really be made invisible or even teleported? According to the legend, the U.S. Navy attempted to use electromagnetic fields to render the USS Eldridge invisible to radar, and possibly even to the human eye. Some versions of the story claim that the experiment went horribly wrong, causing the ship to disappear and reappear hundreds of miles away in Norfolk, Virginia, within minutes. When it returned, crew members were reportedly found fused into the ship's metal structure, while others suffered from severe burns, madness, or even complete disorientation, as if they had been lost in time. Could such an event be explained by modern physics? The experiment is often linked to Albert Einstein's unified field theory, which aimed to connect electromagnetism and gravity, leading to speculation that an intense electromagnetic field might have bent light and radar waves around the ship. But does this mean true invisibility is possible? And in reality, modern stealth technology like the radar-absorbing materials used on stealth bombers helps aircraft avoid detection, but it does not make them vanish. The idea of teleportation is even more extreme. So far, quantum teleportation has only achieved with tiny particles transferring information between them, not physically leaving objects. If teleportation of a large-scale object were possible, wouldn't it revolutionize transportation, allowing us to travel instantly across the world? Another key question is whether electromagnetic fields could have caused the strange effects reported on the crew. Strong electromagnetic exposure can impact the nervous system, leading to dizziness, nausea, and even hallucinations. This could explain some of the disturbing accounts from alleged witnesses. If any real experiment did take place, could it have been something more ordinary, like an advanced degaussing test meant to make ships undetectable to magnetism? In fact, some historians believe the entire story was a misunderstanding of real naval technology blown out of proportion through rumors and science fiction. The biggest problem with the story is the lack of credible evidence. The USS Eldridge records place it in a completely different location at the time, and no verified eyewitnesses have come forward with solid proof. If teleportation had truly been achieved in 1943, why hasn't this technology reshaped our world today? Still, the idea of government experiments, hidden military technology, and scientific breakthroughs beyond our understanding keeps the Philadelphia experiment alive in books, movies, and discussions. Could there be some truth hidden within the myth, or is it just another tale of exaggerated storytelling and misinformation? The Philadelphia experiment is one of the most controversial and intriguing conspiracy theories in military history. It allegedly took place in 1943 at the Philadelphia Naval Shipyard, where the U.S. Navy reportedly conducted an experiment to render the USS Eldridge, a naval destroyer, invisible to enemy radar, and possibly teleport it to another location. The claims surrounding this experiment involve aspects of electromagnetic field manipulation, quantum mechanics, and military secrecy, making it a fascinating topic of speculation and scientific debate. The Philadelphia experiment is said to have been an attempt to apply Albert Einstein's unified field theory, which sought to link electromagnetism and gravity into a single framework. According to reports, the U.S. Navy used massive electromagnetic generators to create an intense field around the USS Eldridge, bending light and radar waves around the ship to render it invisible. Some accounts even claim the ship teleported from Philadelphia to Norfolk, Virginia, and back within minutes, with catastrophic effects on the crew. Reports suggest that upon reappearance, crew members were found embedded in the ship's metal structure, suffered severe burns, or experienced psychological breakdowns. The alleged invisibility of the ship is sometimes compared to the bending of light around an object, much like how a mirage distorts light in a desert, making objects appear to vanish. While mainstream physics has not confirmed Einstein's unified field theory, some theories suggest that intense electromagnetic fields could, in principle, distort spacetime. Electromagnetic cloaking is theoretically possible using advanced materials, called metamaterials, which bend light around objects to make them invisible. However, achieving this at the scale of an entire warship remains beyond current technology. Modern metamaterials have been used in small-scale invisibility cloaks that bend microwave radiation around objects, effectively making them undetectable to certain types of radar. This concept is similar to how a stream of water flows smoothly around a rock, making it appear as if the water is undisturbed. Teleportation, as described in the Philadelphia experiment, would require an instantaneous displacement of matter, violating the known laws of physics. However, quantum teleportation exists at the level of subatomic particles, where quantum entanglement allows information to be transferred instantaneously between two distant locations. Scaling this effect to macroscopic objects, let alone a 1,240 micropercent locations, is currently beyond scientific feasibility. In modern physics, quantum teleportation has been achieved with photons and small particles, but never with complex macroscopic objects. Quantum teleportation is like sending a perfectly copied message from one place to another, but it does not physically move the original object. Witnesses claim that crew members suffered hallucinations, memory loss, and even insanity after the experiment. Intense electromagnetic exposure can affect brain activity and nervous system function, potentially leading to disorientation and cognitive disturbances. Some researchers speculate that if strong electromagnetic fields were indeed involved, they could have triggered neurological disorders or radiation poisoning. Military personnel exposed to high electromagnetic radiation, such as in radar installations, sometimes report dizziness, nausea, and confusion. Strong electromagnetic exposure could be likened to standing near a high-powered speaker with extremely loud sound waves, causing dizziness and disorientation. Some historians argue that the Philadelphia experiment legend was deliberately spread as misinformation to divert attention from real military research projects. During World War II, the U.S. was working on degaussing techniques to make ships less detectable to magnetic sea mines. Confusion between degaussing experiments and advanced cloaking technologies may have contributed to the myth. The Manhattan Project, which developed nuclear weapons, was kept secret for years, using misinformation tactics to protect classified research. Government secrecy in this case is similar to a magician's trick. While the audience is focused on one hand, the real action is happening elsewhere. Most mainstream scientists and naval historians reject the Philadelphia experiment as a hoax or misinterpretation of classified naval research. Skeptics argue that no documented evidence supports the claims, and no credible witnesses have confirmed the experiment. The story primarily originates from a man named Carl Allen, who allegedly fabricated much of the account. Investigative reports have shown that USS Eldridge's logs place it in a completely different location at the time of the alleged experiment, contradicting teleportation claims. This case is like a rumor spreading online. Once a false claim gains traction, it becomes difficult to separate fact from fiction. While the Philadelphia experiment itself is widely dismissed, the idea of making objects invisible has real scientific merit. Researchers are developing electromagnetic cloaking technologies using metamaterials that manipulate electromagnetic waves to conceal objects from radar and visible light. While current applications are limited to small objects, future advancements could lead to large-scale cloaking. The U.S. military has explored adaptive camouflage technologies, such as using light-bending materials to make tanks and aircraft less visible. Electromagnetic cloaking is like a chameleon blending into its surroundings by changing its color. The Philadelphia experiment remains a popular subject in conspiracy theories, fueled by science fiction literature, movies, and sensationalized reports. Human psychology plays a role in the persistence of such stories. People are drawn to mysteries, hidden knowledge, and government secrets. The lack of concrete evidence allows for endless speculation. Other conspiracy theories, such as those about Area 51 and UFOs, have persisted for decades, despite a lack of definitive proof. Believing in the Philadelphia experiment is like believing in the legend of Atlantis. an intriguing but largely unsupported mystery. Despite being widely debunked, the Philadelphia experiment has had a lasting impact on pop culture, scientific curiosity, and military research narratives. It has inspired numerous books, films, and television series, contributing to discussions about cloaking technology, teleportation, and secret government projects. The story serves as a reminder of how easily misinformation can blend with reality, shaping public perceptions of science and history. The 1984 movie The Philadelphia Experiment dramatized the event, bringing the story to mainstream audiences and solidifying its place in popular culture. The Philadelphia Experiment is like a modern-day myth, blurring the line between fact and fiction, captivating audiences for generations. While no credible scientific evidence supports the Philadelphia experiment's claims of invisibility and teleportation, the story persists as a compelling conspiracy theory. The concepts of electromagnetic cloaking, quantum teleportation, and government secrecy ensure continued speculation and interest. As science advances, some elements of the myth, particularly invisibility technology, may become reality, though not in the way the legend describes. Whether fact, fiction, or a mix of both, the Philadelphia experiment remains a fascinating case of how scientific ideas can fuel myths and inspire real technological advancements.